There we are. There you are.
There we are. There
Oh,
we
that
are.
one curtain is a little bit bright, but that's
Is
all
it
right.
bright?
Well, it's like, I mean, if you put that one down, maybe it would not make it so. Oh, it's probably a little bit better. Yeah, there you go. It makes you look so much better.
Oh, that's good. We'll take so much better. So what are we on?
We're on YouTube now.
We are on
Um,
YouTube. On which YouTube channel?
Now that's a good question.
Do we have more than one YouTube channel?
Because we really screwed up the last one on Facebook. Well, I guess it wasn't a screw up,
It was. I guess what you think is sometimes
So-
you're doing something.
but Jenny Tootin's on again.
Hi Jenny. So what you like? We just tried to do a live show
Dennis,
with our mafia,
Brother Tech.
and we were having technical problems, and then Chris got
Pavel.
us back on, and then we did a live show with your personal.
We got Steve Price from the UK.
So I'm not as
Carlos.
flustered anymore, but it was a very shock when I started seeing people that are not in the mafia chatting.
You could probably scoot over this way so you're not right that window. There you go.
Okay.
So that window. There we go.
Okay.
So we're here to answer questions. So we got McKenna working for us now in the store. So she runs the store. So that's kind of cool. So she started this week. Exciting. Got some things to give away. So I'm going to be giving away today, answering your questions and giving away some Titan tips right here. YouTube live and some Titan shirts. Titan shirts, Titan tips. And I got some glasses from Edge Eyewear. So I'm going to be giving out some glasses today. We just gave some out on Facebook. What we just gave away the Purdy backpack. So I gave away a Purdy backpack right on Facebook Live.
Are you
So-
gonna keep the other one? 'Cause you purchased two.
Well, I'm gonna do a review of it first, and then I'm gonna give it out.
Are you gonna
So-
use it for a while so that you can give
Um,
a good review?
Yeah, I'm gonna use it for a little bit and go to school with it and pack it up full of lunch and stuff and see how it works. So,
I cannot read the feed from
so
here at
somebody farted. They said.
all. What?
I know. Hi, Chris. So I just missed who said that, but
Yes.
people say weird things.
Okay.
So
well,
California Love, Carlos.
I guess I'm gonna.
Tom Thompson, hi from Tom Thompson. Got my stuff today. I love it. So
But
Thompson,
how do I turn it so I don't
hey
want?
Chris, trouble using my gift card. So that's what we got McKenna for. So if we got problems using your
Using
gift
a-
card, we'll hook you up. Do you water down acrylic paint when using a 310 tip? I sprayed a front door, had some spit. So when I'm using an airless sprayer, I never water down my paint ever. So not in 18 years. When I use an HVLP sprayer, I'm typically always watering my paints down.
So Cool Dip is from India. Thanks for being
So
with us.
how do you get t-shirts? So our t-shirts are sold in our store at store.theidahopainter.com, store.theidahopainter.com, and I just put Edge Eyewear on our store. So these are safety glasses. These are the coolest safety glasses you will ever wear, and now we got them on our store. So, and I'm gonna be giving away some. Stay tuned because I'm gonna give some away today.
So what we're
There's
gonna
another
do is he
Um,
purchased how many
the
different
tag
sizes?
isn't necessarily the cool. Well, not
How many
sizes.
different-
They're all the same size,
But
but
what-
styles.
How
so
many different styles did you get?
I think I got like 8 different styles on our
Oh.
store now.
Wow. So what we're
So-
gonna do is we're gonna give away a couple gift cards, and you can go to our store and you can pick out the glasses that
Yep.
you want.
The
Also,
raddest glasses you'll ever wear. Any experience with ScuffX paint? Yeah, so ScuffX paint actually works pretty good. You know, it's a good paint. So had some experience with it and actually like it. So and it actually is a scuff resistant paint and you know covers well. Hides well, same thing, but it's a good product.
so this guy says,
it's-
Darren says, when said people mask up then rip paint off, what do you do? So it sounds like when you're ripping the masking and it takes the paint off, isn't there, you don't wait till it's dry.
Yeah,
to
so
rip
it's
it.
called bridging. So the paint is bridging, so it rips it off.
That's not a good bridging.
in shark's teeth, and so you're gonna have to go back and touch it up. That's why you know we always pull our masking before the paint dries. And if for some reason you can't pull it before it dries, you need to score it with a sharp knife before you remove it. So, and if it bridges, then you're just gonna have to go back and touch it up. And sometimes it happens and you just gotta touch it up. Love the videos and tips. God bless, Jonathan. So thank you very much. Please help. Just bought a Graco Ultra and the pump failed on the first shot. Is this common? So, why? Is it common? If it's common, I don't think Graco would be in business. So, but Graco does have good technical support. I had an issue with my Graco Ultra, used it for about 20 gallons. I think people are using them, misusing them, using them too much, not for what they're intended for. They're small project sprayers and the little tiny pump inside, literally it's this big, wears out really fast. Graco is pretty good at replacing things. If you call up their customer support, probably not now because of this whole virus thing, but they would typically answer it. You're typically gonna get somebody you can understand in English, and they'll send you out a new part or whatever, take care of it. They've been pretty good when I've called them.
So Bob,
how is work with B&K Painting? So no, everybody's been shut down around here. We've been, they're slowly allowed to go back to work, because now painting just recently, I think last week, was deemed a essential service. How that works, I don't know.
So Bob Finnessy says, I painted a hallway and got some flash above 2 of the doorways. The extra coat did not eliminate the flash. It is a light knockdown texture. Suggestions?
I'll read that again.
It says, I painted a hallway and got some flash above 2 of the doorways.
I'm not sure what, if you sprayed, if he rolled, if he's talking about flashing from painting the trim and getting the trim paint onto the wall, or
So
if
Bob,
he's
if you could
painting
give us
hallways is really difficult no matter what you do, because of the way the lighting goes down the hallway. So hallways are always gonna, show up all your mistakes and all your cardinal sins when it comes to painting, not keeping a wet edge, or not using the proper tip, or getting too close to the wall, having a hard edge. One thing, use on a hallway, make sure you use an HE tip, which gives a feathered edge. If you're spraying, keep a really, really wet edge overlap, but you got to stand back far enough when you're spraying in a hallway and above the doorway. It starts to get difficult working around doorways and stuff, but I can't really give good advice because I don't know.
So we need
exactly
a little more
what
information.
yeah.
So one person said,
how's the easiest way to paint a ceiling? Jose, the easiest way to paint a ceiling is to spray it. That's the fastest and easy way. And use a Titan 619 HEA tip, because it gives a feathered edge. You're more than likely not going to get flashing and lap marks if you use a Titan HE tip.
So let me read the questions
Okay,
and you answer. I'm painting a house over here in Florida. I'm using a 440 with the original tip. What tip should I use to paint doors?
310, or 310. So when I'm spraying trim and doors, I'm typically always using a 310. If I got a lot of doors to do, and when I was doing new construction, when you're painting 20, 30 doors, sometimes 50 at a time, I would use a 510, because you got a wider fan and you're gonna be able to do your doors faster. But if I got 3-4 doors to do, 1 door to do, I'm just gonna use a 310, because it's the most versatile, and it's gonna be a fine finish tip. So a fine finish 310 tip.
So
Brown Bear Painting, what's up, Illinois?
So Ruben Perez says, do you have an easy texture gun?
We do. We sell them in our store.
What is the store?
It's store.theidahopainter.com. So we sell that gun, that easy texture gun, in our store.
Okay.
So yep.
Can you give
please tell me about wall putty application. I'm not sure what you want to know about wall putty application. I have videos on it, but go ahead. Ron Thrall's hanging out with us.
So we are really glad Ron is with us. What's your opinion on emerald urethane for cabinets? I've had issues when I caulk after priming. I think I need to prime over caulking.
So I personally wouldn't use, the emerald urethane is one of the best trim paints I've ever used, but I wouldn't use it on cabinets. I think if you're not going to use like an industrial type coating, really designed for cabinets and stuff, like Renner makes a really good one. I've been testing one from CIC. That's a good one. Emerald is is a decent cabinet coating, but it's not going to give you that industrial type, finish, like factory like finish, like it came out of.
But if that's what he's
factory.
using, he's talking about caulking and priming.
So emerald urethane, it literally will stick to anything. It's going to stick to your skin and not come off. I would be very comfortable cleaning my cabinets with Dawn dish soap. Then I would sand them with an Ecosand sander, a 3x4 sander. Always create a mechanical bond. So sand them with an Ecosand sander, Ecosand silk, a 3x4 sander. And the sponge sanding pads will contour to the profile, make sanding fast and easy. And then I would spray it with emerald urethane, and I would probably use a brand new 310 test.
So his question was about caulking and priming. Did you even answer that?
So I wouldn't prime. So
would you caulk?
Would I caulk what? The floating panels? I would.
I don't
So
know.
caulking, so you have the option, and so I've taught this over the years. I have a video on caulking floating panels. And if you're using emerald urethane, I would be comfortable, caulking the floating panels. If you're using a hard lacquer coating, even in our climate, I would no longer be comfortable caulking a floating panel. But with an acrylic product like emerald urethane type product that's more flexible. If you're painting them with Solo, if you're painting them with Pro Classic, I would be comfortable caulking them. But possibly I would probably be comfortable caulking them with Renner 851. That's what I would highly recommend painting your cabinets with. But if you're using a lacquer, I would not caulk them.
So William Grimes says, are you going to be restocking the flexible hose whips?
We have them.
We have them.
We have hundreds of them.
Store.theidahopainter.com.
We have over 600 of them in stock, so we have got you covered when it comes to our hose whips. So we got 3 foot, 5 foot, and 25-foot hose whips. And I don't know if people understand the advantage of a 25-foot hose whip. So
explain.
I'll explain. So a 25-foot, so a hose whip, to begin with, the inside diameter of the hose is smaller, so it takes up less paint on a 25-foot hose versus a 50-foot hose, or a 25-foot hose, standard hose. It takes less paint to load up. And then a standard 25-foot hose or 50-foot hose is extremely not flexible and hard to manipulate. And you should put a hose whip on the end of every single hose you have attached to your gun. But a 25-foot hose whip that we sell, the custom ones, the green ones, eliminates the need for a 3 or 5-foot hose whip, and it makes a short hose for spraying doors, because we always have one sprayer set up just for doors. And if you only got a gallon, if you got a half a gallon or even a quart, you could almost load up a quart into an airless sprayer with a 25-foot hose whip, because the inside diameter is smaller, the length is shorter, and because you typically can't buy standard hoses at 25 foot, they're 50 foot or longer. So now you can get a short hose, use it for small projects like garage door, regular doors, stuff like that. And now it's going to be extremely flexible. It's not going to wear you out from spraying with it all day long.
So Bob said he rolled the hallway and he was having flashing above the doors.
Yeah, if you roll the hallway, so you're going to be working down the hallway, and you just, as you're working up to the door, now you're getting to the top, you've got to continue to keep a wet edge, and you really have to. One of the things I noticed from the beginners, the people that we hire and teach, start teaching them how to paint, the most common mistake is not dipping your roller enough. I just created a video how to properly roll a wall, and it's been in the last month, I believe. And if you watch that video, look how often I dip my roller and unload it on the wall and keep dipping it. That's going to be the thing that's going to cause flashing the most. You have to continue down the hallway, and you have to continue keeping a wet edge and keep laying out your paint too. And hallways are difficult because they're tight, closed quarters. They're probably going to be warmer, than the rest of the house, but turn the temperature down so the paint don't dry so fast, and just really load on the paint. What do you
So
mean by flashing? So, flashing, if you here's one example of flashing. If you look down the hallway and you're spraying the hallway and you're going, vertically up and down, when it's all dry, you're going to look down the hallway and you're going to see these lap marks going up and down the hallway, and those are what we would call flashing. And there's a lot of things that could cause flashing. It could not be the painter. It could be texture flashing from the texture guy, spraying vertically going down the hallway. So you're going to see those stripe marks going down the hallway. You're going to see that same type of thing on a ceiling. If you're not keeping a wet edge, you're going to see flashing caused by the sprayer. So wherever the direction of the roller is going, because you're not keeping a wet edge and you're stippling it. Stippling will cause flashing because you're laying out your paint when it's like starting to dry, and so you're pulling on the paint, creating peaks and valleys and causing stippling, flashing. But there's a lot of things that cause flashing, and it's the unevenness in the look of the paint. And sometimes it could be color, sometimes it could be texture, and different varying things.
So Brandon says, I've done cabinets for my customer. I used Benjamin Moore Advanced semi-gloss, and it kept orange peeling. I put 3 coats on it, and I used a 210 FFLP.
Yeah, so thank you very much, Hans. Somebody gave us a super chat. Appreciate it very much. So,
Thank you.
so yeah, so orange peeling, there's a lot of different things that could cause that. And so some of it could be your pressure is too low, on your sprayer, because you're spraying it with an HVLP sprayer. I've painted a lot of cabinets over the years, and if everything is done right, you should not get an orange peel textures to it. So the pressure's got to be typically cranked up pretty high. If it's 2200 psi or lower, you're probably going to get an eggshelly finish to it. If you're not using the right tip, so you want to have a fine finish tip. But I'll tell you what, nowadays, Titan's FFLP tips are not good for getting a really fine finish. They have a tendency to send out the droplets of paint. Even though it's atomizing it, the droplets are too big, so it doesn't lay it out well enough, and I can't stand them. The fine finish tips that Graco had before FFLP, where they were just FF tips, they produce the finer finish than the LP tips. Can't stand the LP tips. I would never use an FFLP tip to do cabinets. I would probably side to go into like Titan's purple tips for getting a fine finish. So check pressure. Pressure's got to be cranked up pretty high to get really good atomization of the paint. Distance, too far, too close could cause an issue. So be aware of your distance. But I would probably say more than likely, it's going to be a pressure issue. There are some products that don't like to be sprayed, very much, and sometimes you'd have to thin them out. Let me see, somebody else gave us, Bob Finnessy gave us a super chat too. Thank you very much.
You were answering his questions about the flashing.
Oh, so on the flashing. So yeah, so cool.
In the hallway.
So
Thank you.
yeah, so but I would, that would be last resort. I probably still wouldn't be comfortable, especially thinning my paints on cabinet painting. So I know that product he's using is a pretty good cabinet product and shouldn't be needed to be thinned, but it could be related to tip. I'd be curious to know what tip he was using. So
Randy, he was talking about he caulked the corners after priming, and then a year later, having painted 3 top coats, it cracked on the caulking line.
Yeah, so the primer itself, if you're priming over the top of the caulking, the primer is not going to be very flexible. So the primer, obviously has a good chance of cracking. And so here's another thing, it all comes down to climate too, and this is something you have to be very wary of. And here in our climate, Boise, Idaho, it's a very dry climate. Very high on unlikely, because it's so dry, you're not going to have so much expansion and contraction from summer to winter. And then also if the people keep, the house at a consistent temperature, it's less likely to expand and contract. But if you're living on the coast somewhere, because of the moisture content, humidity levels, highly not recommended to caulk your cabinet panels and stuff. So you can get away with it in Boise, Idaho, and we've done it for years with a lot of success. But now, if you go to, like Michigan or something like that, I probably wouldn't be, caulking the panels. So, and then it depends, to the caulking. What caulking are you using? When you caulk it, your caulking has to be completely cured. When we caulk, we used a caulking called Bolt, and so it was quick dry, and so you can paint over it with an hour if you're not using a quick dry, caulking, and you paint over it too soon, you're definitely going to get some curing issues, and it's going to crack. So I'm thinking caulking is my favorite word. So it's funny when I go back and watch the videos. It's with the way I say it, it comes off kind of funny. So yeah, that is. They can do like on Saturday Night Live. I think they did at one time did a spoof on caulking. So so that's pretty interesting. So Jack, electro cabinet coat on cabinets without thinning with the HVLP #3 Nito Graco. Um, so th- yeah, I don't like any thoughts. So if you're spraying like anything with an HVLP sprayer, #3 needle is what I would be using. Um, but I'll tell you, let's see, with #5 sticks, you have to thin your products when you're spraying with an HVLP sprayer. There's nothing, it's almost impossible to spray with an HVLP, without thinning your products. I've never had any success without thinning it. You need to get yourself, a viscosity meter. I now actually sell them on my store. I sell a Zon 2 viscosity meter. I sell some other accessories you really should have when it comes to HVLP spraying. But you need to have the proper viscosity prior to ever spraying with an HVLP sprayer. So two things are very critical is proper viscosity and temperature. So the temperature of your product is pretty important because that's going to change the viscosity pretty significantly. But you're always going to have more success, when thinning your products when it comes to spraying with an HVLP sprayer. That's the benefit to an airless. An airless, you never have to thin when spraying. It's just straight out of the can. So let's see. Also, Mega Elastic from White Lightning caulking. So Mega Last is a really good product. So Brandon Mitchell says that when you finish a cabinet with lacquer, how many people do you bring, and how do you price the job? So Jim Knowles is asking that. So typically a cabinet job, we're in and out of a standard average size kitchen 2 days. We can be in and out 2 days. It's second day, we could come back and do some final adjustments and stuff like that. And we typically have 4 guys is pretty ideal to get a set of kitchen cabinets done in 2 days. In the pricing, pricing fluctuates, according, there's a lot of variables that cause it to fluctuate, but a very good starting point to estimating kitchen cabinets, and like estimating across the board, I try to make things very, very simple. And easy to do. And so you can make it complicated, but I've come up with this, and it works 90% of the time. It's $135 per door and drawer front. So I don't differentiate between the two of them. I used to in the past, but I mean, it's the same thing. You got to go through the same amount of work. I mean, one's smaller than the other, but it's the same thing. They've all got to be washed, sanded, and holes drilled in them to be hung, and they got to be sprayed. And so there's $135 per door and drawer front. So all you do is just the customer can count on themselves and tell you. And then I do have some additionals. There's some things I add on, for additional charges, like if they're oak. If I have to get rid of oak grain, that's a lot of work, and that's typically around a $500 upcharge to fill oak grain. The panels, face frames, all that stuff is included in the charge. So now there could be excessive panels. If there's excessive panels and some large panels, I'll just count those panels, the average size, how many average size kitchen doors, cabinet doors would fit in that panel. And if that panel, 3 doors would fit in the panel, I would count the panel as 3 doors. So that's an easy, thing to do. If you've got to fill knots, like if they're knotty alder and they want all the knots filled, that's labor intensive. So you should be charging about $500 an added charge, to do the cabinet. So an average size kitchen cabinets, they're gonna probably, run, around $4,000 to do the average set of kitchen cabinets, and can do them in 2 days. And our process includes, and that you have to hang them and you have to spray both sides at one time, and then they're hung, on the rack to dry. And so that's the PSDR system. If you've never seen that system, check out our store.idahopainter.com. I sell it on there. It's a must-have if you want to make money painting cabinets. So check that out.
So John Crispo, he has been dialoguing, and he has said that he's never won anything.
Hey, so you just won.
What did he win? So did you show him the tape?
We can hook him up. I haven't showed the tape yet, so we'll hook him up with a Titan tip, and a Titan shirt.
So the only way you'll get a Titan shirt is if you're a medium or large, because they sent us only a few shirts. And so, John, you need to email me at support@idaho-painter.com, and you need to email your shirt size and your mailing address, and we will get that Titan tip and shirt mailed off to you.
If you're not that shirt size, we'll hook you up with something else. So we're gonna be giving away. Are we gonna give away some frog tape here?
We're gonna give away some frog tape. We're gonna talk about that.
Frog tape now, CP199 is it's owned by Shirt Tape. Shirt Tape owns Frog Tape. They're now packaging CP199 as Frog Tape. So Frog Tape logo, best production tape we've ever used, and we're going to be giving away some today. It's now packaged in 4-packs and stuff. It doesn't have paint block technology like blue frog tape and green frog tape does. It's still a production tape. It's just packaged in the frog tape packaging. So that's now, I believe, available nationwide on Sherwin-Williams, isn't it?
There's a list of places.
So we're gonna give away some more, another shirt, another Titan tip. We are gonna give away some Edge glasses today.
We're not going to necessarily give the glasses, but we're going to give a gift card that you
So
can
you
use at
can
our
get the
store.
glasses
So you can get the glasses
on our store.
Because how many different styles
So
are there?
isn't that, I mean, that's kind of like getting, into the technicality of that. So I said I'm gonna give away some glasses. Isn't that right? Oh.
Yeah, they can buy them at our store, but you have how many styles?
These are like gangster glasses. I totally.
They're safety glasses. How many different styles did you put on our store?
I think I put like 8 different styles.
So that's why we're giving you a gift card.
Yeah, and so because that way you can just pick your own style.
Yes.
What's your favorite Sherwin-Williams wall paint? Cashmere. So. Cashmere is one of the best wall paints that I've ever used. Great paint from Sherwin-Williams. I started using PPG's. Makes a timeless. So PPG timeless covers amazing. I actually like the paint a lot. It has a good finish. It dries really fast, which I like. Every paint, there's no paint that I've ever used that has nothing negative about it. I think Cashmere is one of the best I've ever used. It has a tendency to not hang very well. So that was one of the drawbacks to it. PPG Timeless splatters really bad. Really annoys me, but it's a great product. It's a coverage. It covers better than I think any paint I've ever used. And so it's absolutely amazing. So PPG Timeless. Long time watcher of your channel, never won anything. CW Crow or CW Row. I think, has that person won something before?
Where? I don't see that.
Right there, well, right here. CW Row.
So why don't
they are a long time follower of our channel. Dwayne Perry, thanks for the super chat.
So CW Row, what did he just win?
We'll give you a shirt and a Titan tip.
So the Titan shirt is only going to be if we have it. So you need to email us support@idaho-painter.com and your shirt size and your tip size, and not tip size, we're just sending you a tip. So you just want a Titan tip?
Yeah, I think we're sending out 517 HCA tips. So Titan, it's pretty cool because Titan hooked us up. We just said, we can't work. We got to hang out here, just do live videos all the time because we're stuck at home,
Who else
quarantined.
gave us some
And
stuff?
Sure Tape gave us stuff to give away. Oh, we haven't talked about Tip Saver. Tip Saver gave us stuff to give away. Can we give away a Tip Saver today?
We can, but real fast, I wanted to, Jim Knoll says, have you ever used a Kremlin Air Assist Airless? King of speed, low overspray and quality.
I haven't used one, but I've heard a lot of good things about them.
I wonder where they're sold. Kremlin. Is it a Russian?
So here in Boise, you could probably, the Advanced Hardware and Tool would probably sell a Kremlin.
Okay.
So Kremlin air assisted for lacquer and conversion varnish used with air compressor. So Tip Saver is a product I love. So this is what organizes your tips. You put it down in a gallon can, lift it out with a handle so you'd have to dip your hand down into lacquer, paint thinner, all those nasty chemicals. Now you could see them right in front of you. Very simple, easy to get to, and they're organized. It organizes your tips. Your filters can be stuck in the top now too. Your guards sit in here organized. One of those must-have tools if you're using an airless sprayer. We do sell them, these in our store too. We're going to give one away today. So we're going to give one today. So I'm going to do a video. So I'm coming up here. And here's, I've been doing a lot of research. So like on paintbrush filament technology. And you know what's, it's like really interesting. So here's a Stinger brush and it says, it's the Stinger tip and it has Fill-A-Blend technologies.
Fill-A-Blend.
Fill-A-Blend.
Fill-A-Blend. That's the
So
one I haven't heard of.
for the life of me, I don't know what Fill-A-Blend is.
Okay.
And I'm researching, I'm gonna find all this stuff out and I'm gonna let you guys all know. So you'll know. So this has this one right here, dyed, and it's spelled D-Y-E-D, dyed nylon. So, is dyed nylon better than non-dyed nylon? Here's one. This one says, this has selected synthetic filaments. So are the selected ones better than non-selected? I mean, this is the weirdest thing. Here's a Wooster. So
You like
Wooster
that brush?
brushes, not specifically this one, but there's a brush I really like from them. It's the Pro, their Pro model brush. It's a really great brush. This one has it has micro tip filaments. So micro tip. It's like weird. I think like all these brush companies just randomly put stuff on these brushes so it looks like they got something proprietary that's better than everybody else's.
And
but
maybe
then
they do, maybe they don't.
maybe they do, maybe they don't. But this one says
That's an interesting one. That's all I'm saying.
this is an interesting cover.
Yeah.
But this one, this has the Advantage PBT filament. Advantage PBT. So it's
So wait a
interesting.
second. The back, because you like Montauk, and that's
Minotaur.
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 It's like a dinosaur.
It's like a dinosaur. It's like
I
a
don't
cross
know. Are
between
dinosaurs good?
a bull and something else. So, here's another one. So this one has CT polyester filaments. CT polyester. It just goes on and on and on. I mean, this one has premium performance filaments. So is premium performance better than dyed nylon? Is it
So is
better
that if
than
you're a brush
PBT?
maker, is like you see what everybody calls their filaments and you have to say something different?
That way they
differentiate?
can't compare each other with each other. So that's my theory, is you can't compare my brush with another brush and say, well, because we have something
Pioneer.
nobody else has. It's just like, I mean, this one, synthetic, solid, round, tapered filaments. So Zachary has synthetic, solid, round. So here's the brush that I like. So this is, of all these brushes, this is my favorite brush for interior painting. This is, and this isn't the brush, but this is the brush is not around here. Oh, here it is. So there's the brush, the Montauk. So, but this is not.
What do they say their
I'm
filaments are?
studying brushes. So, theirs are DuPont. So
Does it say that on it?
it does. So they're very open and honest. So Tynex and Oreo. It's very simple. And they write underneath it because a lot of people aren't familiar with what's Tynex and Oreo. Is that another one of these proprietary names? No, that's DuPont's name for nylon and polyester. So DuPont is the leader in the world when it comes to filament technology. They've invested more money in filament technology than anybody else. There's nobody that compares. And I'm doing research on that to look into that. So all Premier brushes, their Pro line they're all DuPont filaments. But here, look what I got here. Here's a Premier handle. So I'm studying. They have some of the finest quality handles that you ever see.
Did you
Finest
break that
quality
apart?
sounding. I'm not that strong. It's just a brush that hasn't been nailed together yet. So you can see inside of a paintbrush. So that's inside of a brand new one. Here's an old one that I did a hack video with. So we're just getting off on a tangent there. So
So this guy says, not sure we can purchase Montauk in the UK. Well, we do sell them on our store,
We ship worldwide.
theidahopainter.com.
Yep.
But Brandon keeps asking, no, Brandon was asking, Rimadel 77, have you tried any HVLP turbines? If so, which do you recommend? And somebody said that you like the Titan cap spray. You like the Titan cap spray. Is there any other HVLP turbines you like?
So the Titan Cap Spray 115 is one of the best all-around units you can buy for everything. So I like Titan Cap Spray and I like the Apollo Precision 5. So with the 7700 Atomizer gun, that gun is the best gun I've ever used. The second best gun is the Titan Maximum Elite gun. So those two guns, the Titan is the Cap Spray 115 is amazing, and I think they're about the same price. The Cap Spray is a little bit lighter. It can spray a little bit heavier materials without thinning. The Precision 5 is a 5-stage turbine. The Cap Spray is a 6-stage turbine. The Precision 5, you can dial it in more because you can adjust, the pressure and dial it in exactly where you want it. So getting like fine finish, like for automobiles and stuff like that. The Cap Spray is more of a just one stop. You just hook it up. You have 2 settings, boom, boom, and away you go. So it all depends on what you're doing. Somebody said, what did I think of the Hamilton? I think that's I don't know if they're talking about Premier because I was talking about brushes. The Hampton. The Hampton is, if I was hand brushing trim, the Hampton is hands down the paintbrush I would use for.
But what is Hamilton? Because maybe there is something
I'm
called
not
Hamilton.
sure what Hamilton is, so what he's referring to. If he's not
Yeah.
referring to the Hampton is a Tynex bristle brush, 100% DuPont nylon brush.
He
so
said they're brushes.
So the Hampton, there might be something else.
Hamilton.
Or a Hamilton. So there might be something else. I don't know if I'm not sure. So Hamilton brushes. So I've never. That's interesting because I don't think I've ever seen. If you've seen out my academy, my wall of brushes, there's hundreds of brushes on it, and I've never seen a Hamilton.
So Jim Knoll says, when you lacquer spray a stain to a darker than original kitchen stain, do you use a toner to shade to specific shade? When wiping on stain, doesn't color match?
So when you're doing toners, so I've done toners in the past, so there's already a lacquer on the cabinet itself, and this is kind of like a shortcut to making cabinets darker. You're going to take lacquer and add tint to your lacquer, and then you're going to spray that over your existing lacquer, and it's going to melt right down to those existing lacquer, and so you can darken it. You can never go lighter. Now doing toners is more advanced and stuff. I think if you just sand them down to bare wood or strip them down, you can go lighter or darker and have a lot more success. But every time I've done toners, I've never been happy with the results. That's just me. So I've done them in the past, but just
So the Hamilton is it's in the UK. He said it's a bit old school. He's saying, when you say the Titan Cap Spray 115 spray gun is better than the Apollo Precision 5?
Thank you very much, Brandon Mitchell, for the super chat. So we appreciate it very much. So, so the gun. So
Thank you.
I think like there's so to me the there's some differences between the two guns, and the 7700 atomizer gun is a very advanced gun. I think it's a more polished, high-end gun. It's probably one of the best guns you can
Maybe
buy.
not entry level, or if you're just
Yeah, well, I
depends on what you're.
I would never
Goals are?
recommend him buy anything less than either one of those two guns. I mean, you're just not gonna, get the performance and stuff, and they're just not gonna last. But if you want if you're really into just high end polished tools, the 7700 Atomizer gun is an absolute amazing gun. I mean, you just look at it and it's amazing, and it comes in a case that holds the needles and nozzles and stuff, and there's just the dials and knobs on them are just more precision. The 7700 Atomizer has won some pretty cool awards, for the gun technology and stuff. So, those guys have been hvlp.com. Actually, well, I sell the gun. I actually sell that Atomizer gun now in our store. So at sort of the idahopainter.com, because I like it so much. But the Atomizer gun is just a really high-end gun, and they've the company that's Apollo. They've been manufacturing HVLP sprayers, guns, and components for the automobile industry and the tanning industry for something like 50 years. It's ridiculous.
And then they decided painters.
So now they're getting more into the
Re-
residential repaint industry and painting cabinets. So that's why a lot of
They've
people.
been in the shops.
They've been in the
cabinet
shops, like
shops.
cabinet shops, but really they've been really widely
For you
known
guys
in the
refinishers.
automobile industry for a long time, and so they haven't been known in our industry for a while.
So Tyson said, I'm proud of this guy. He's doing so well and helping so many people. I learned so much from him. Tyson, thank you for being positive. Because you're positive, we are going to send you a gift card to use at our store to pick out a pair of glasses. So Tyson, you need to email us your email address.
Here's
at-
another one of the pairs.
For
The
a gift
Brazil.
card, Tyson, you need to send us your email to support@idaho-painter.com, and we will get a gift card to
So
you.
if I was walking down the beach and I had these things on, would you think that I'm like super cool? And
Yes,
Do you
I
want
think-
my phone number?
Can you read that? Because my eyes are not that good.
Read what?
Tyson's last name, so I know.
Tyson, where? Let me see. I don't even see what you would point to.
Right there.
Tyson.
Mine pin doesn't
Well, you're
work.
just moving all around and I can't see anything.
Okay.
Tyson. Situ. I can't read. It's like Sighton's S-I-T-U. Situ.
So Tyson, you need to email me, and I'll send you a gift card.
Well, yeah. So thank you very much, Titan, for the positive words. We appreciate it. Yeah. So here's my Terminator glasses. So starring as the Terminator. That's like one of my favorite movies. So Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Do you sell zip wall pulls, or do you recommend another brand?
We don't sell them. The zip wall, if I had my choice, Tremaco sells a more durable, sturdier unit. It's called, I'm not sure what it's called. I have them out in my academy.
Yeah.
But they're way stronger and more durable than a zip
Tremaco.
wall. Tremaco makes them. So
Yeah.
we don't sell them because they're these long poles and stuff, and they're just too difficult to ship and stuff like that. But go check out Tremaco and see.
So this guy says, any chance you'll do a video on what you stated earlier about getting droplets with FFLP tips and what to do instead?
That's a good question. If you write that down, I'll do that. That's because I have like quite a few videos on tips and the tips I recommend. And I think the last tip video I did, I talked about that because I recommended specific tips for specific things, and it was several months ago. That I put that video out and kind of went in depth about what tips to use and whys. But I don't know if I specifically talked about, the FFLP tips and, my experience. I was kind of involved. Graco sent me the tips, before they were ever for sale, and the engineer sent them to me, and I gave my feedback as soon as I used them. I didn't. I noticed it right off the bat, the eggshelly ness to the finish, and part of they're coming up with the whole reason behind the FFLP tips was to get one tip that would go in their little handheld sprayer and one tip that would go into all their other sprayers, and then to address this whole overspray issue that people are whining about. And I don't think it's a tip issue with new tips. I think it has a lot to do with spray pressure. You're controlling overspray, using tips too long when they're worn out, and those are the things causing overspray. And so I think they took a tip that was really one of the best tips on the market, eliminated it, and put something that's inferior in its place. Just my opinion. So I know I've done some surveys, and there's people that like the FFLP tips, and I'm not the only opinion out there. So my opinion isn't the only opinion that matters. It's just my opinion.
So we have two more giveaways, and then we're gonna have to get going. So we have we're gonna give away these two to somebody, and then also we had another. Oh, so we'll do three giveaways. A 2-edged knife.
2-edged knife. If you don't got a 2-edged knife, you need to have a 2-edged knife.
You can win one now.
Best 5-in-1 tool that you will ever carry as a professional painter or as a homeowner, do-it-yourselfer. It's a tool that everybody should have. So FLP tips depend on the paint you're spraying. So nowadays the tips, because they've gone to this whole low pressure thing, the tips used to be, you would set it up 2200 psi and it didn't matter with anything, they all sprayed the same. Now, I mean, you've got to adjust your pressure. Some places in some countries you got to thin your paints, and it's really created a nightmare for the painter. It's just not set it and go. It's you've got to really know the paint you're using and the pressure you need to spray it at, and the tip. I mean, if you put in a Tritech tip, if you put in a Graco tip, if you put in a Titan tip, or if you put in a Q-Tech tip. I mean,
one size doesn't fit all.
One size doesn't fit all anymore, unfortunately.
So Michael Einstein says that Hamilton, our passion and expertise in creating the finest brush, roller, and tools means we are the brand of choice for decorators at any level. So I don't know if he works for Hamilton or the owner, or but we would love to try one out.
If they're truly that good, we want to see them.
Yeah, so you can message me, and I'll give you our mailing address. Chris,
I mean, I just love brushes. So
at
there's like
Idaho-painter.com.
unusual brushes out there. There's brushes like this. That's, I mean, extremely unusual. Kind of cool stuff. I like just getting all these. This is one of the most interesting brushes you'll ever see. I mean,
it's a dinosaur.
Yeah, it's got the most interesting handle. It looks like a spindle, like on the stairs and stuff, and it's got, it's
How
oval,
does it feel in your hand?
It's orange. I mean, the filaments are nice. It's interesting. Made by, this is a Picasso. It's on the handle is just so interesting. It seems like it still needs to be sanded, polished. It looks like it worked its way down the line, about 3/4 of the way, and it just
somebody
didn't
said it
quite
looks
get
like a
finished.
duster to me.
Proform. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. I mean, the filaments some are already bent.
Brian Wagner says he thinks it looks like a beautiful brush. See, that's the thing is there something for everybody. One person looks at it and says duster. One person looks at it and says a spindle.
I don't know until I start painting. I know I've used this company, their brush, with these filaments on it for painting trim, and I think it was the Picasso Pro Form, and it actually painted trim, laid it out pretty nicely. It had the same exact filaments in it. So this is just a different shaped handle, different size, but oval. I'm not sure the whole oval thing,
I have a couple winners, but real fast, Austin Bowman says, I bought your 3 recommended tips, 510, 310, 619 from last week. Solo paint recommended 0.05 and 0.21. Do you still use a 310?
So I use it
solo.
I do. So if I was spraying solo, I would I would use a 310. I got, I moved away from spraying solo, and I'll say this right now because I started seeing some adhesion issues with solo and some durability issues. I really like the product. It's very forgiving. It's great for new people that don't have a lot of experience spraying. So it doesn't flash very easy. It hangs very well. It dries, has a very nice finish to it, but its bonding capabilities to some surfaces and stuff, and it flashing over the top of Bondo and stuff. I started getting uncomfortable using it, and we switched to Emerald Urethane on trim, and Emerald Urethane is absolutely amazing. But there was some give and take. The Solo, you can mask on it within 2 hours, and begin painting your walls. Emerald Urethane, you can't mask on it until the next day. So
we need to go out with a bang. Oh gosh.
Let's go out with a bang. So do you have, let's see, I covered ceiling, cove ceiling wall line. Do you have a video I can watch? Trying to think. What's difficult is I have like 1,200, 1,400 videos, something like that on my channel. I can't even remember, all of them. And so you have to just type in those keywords and search, and hopefully you can find what you're looking for. If not, suggest that I make one. So stay safe. Lance Austin says bang. So bang, bang.
I don't know where my feed just went.
I don't know where your feed just went either. So
I was picking winners.
Randy, when did you start the channel? So I started my YouTube channel over 9 years ago. So a long time ago.
Yeah.
So it's more than 1,000 videos later, and a lot of live shows, and here we are. So I've come a long way, been a fan. So let's see. Randy, I've come a long way, been a fan since the beginning. So Randy was
okay, so what are we gonna do? We're gonna give him one of these things.
He doesn't even have a last name, it just says Randy.
So when you give him that or that?
We'll give him a 2-edged knife. So Randy, you just got yourself a 2-edged knife. So he just said yes.
So Randy, you have to email me your mailing address so you can get it at support@idaho-painter.com. And if you win, you have to tell me what you won.
So Hayden Butler says best tips for someone who just started a small painting company. So there you go, Hayden Butler.
So are we going to give him a winner?
We'll hook you up, Hayden.
What's he going to get? The tip saver or the 2 packs of tape?
We'll give you a tip saver. What do you want? Tip saver or 2 packs of tape, Hayden Butler? Let's see if he can answer the question before we say an answer. So he's got his choice. The knowledge, your knowledge is second to none. Very impressive. So thank you very much, James. So Hamilton and Picasso brushes are shown at the show you attended in Coventry, Utah. So I didn't get to go around and see very much when I was there in Coventry because I had a lot of obligations. So unfortunately, I didn't get to.
So I don't know where to write his name.
Julian Penfold, high skirting or walls. Skirting or walls first. So I always paint trim first. Trim them walls no matter what. Whether I'm brushing, and I don't brush and roll, trim, skirting, but I always spray it, but it's always first. So.
Okay, so we need to give 2 things away, and I forget who you said you're going to give
something from New York. What's up, New York? New York.
Keep safe.
Keep safe in New York.
So, what was his name?
So Randy.
No, but you gave somebody else.
So Randy just messaged again. I said Hayden. So
we just need to give him something, and we have one more to give away, and then we got to get going.
What his name was.
Hayden Butler.
Hayden Butler. So we'll hook up Hayden Butler with some tape.
With 2 packs of tape.
2 packs
Hayden
of frog tape.
Butler, you need to email us your mailing address and at support@idaho-painter.com. So we have one more giveaway, and it is the tip saver. This is where you pick tip saver. How about Julian Penfold?
Julian Penfold.
You get the tip saver.
We're going to hook you up all the way in the UK. So there you go.
Oh, you're all the way in the UK. Hopefully you spray. And if not, this will be where you keep your tips.
Yep.
So Julian Penfold, you got to send us your mailing address and your shirt size, and we will get that to Tip Saver, and they will directly mail it to you.
Yeah.
And so support at idaho-painter.com. Let us know what you won. We are going to be talking to more companies to see if we can do more giveaways. So stay tuned, engage in the community. If you're not a Paint Life member, you need to join so that we can support and encourage each other. Somebody had asked, I don't remember who on the feed, about spraying disinfectants with their sprayers. And I know Titan had like something on their website saying what you can do to use the sprayers to do that. And that's a good business thing to do.
Yeah, and then Apollo is also developing some system to spray disinfectants and stuff. So I think if you jumped on hvlp.com, there you might see something there. So
And Titan also.
what's the email address, please, Jillian Penfold? Say it once again.
Support at idaho-painter.com.
I think it's painters.
Oh.
I think you're saying it wrong. It's support at idaho-painters.com.
Just painter. I have painter. I have painter.
Well, I will check.
I will type it in the feed. I will type it in the feed.
Let me see.
So if you are a winner, this is where you email.
I'm looking just to verify. It's where we have so many email addresses,
It's kind of
unfortunately.
scary. It's painter.
No, it's not. It's painters. It's right there. Support at idaho-painters.com. It's right there.
I guess that looks like to me, because we have painter too.
Idaho-painters.com.
Okay.
Please use support at idaho-painters.com.
There we go.
All right.
I just put it on there. Sorry for any confusion. Hopefully you'll get it.
Yeah, don't give out my personal email address.
I didn't do that today.
Yeah, last time we accidentally gave out my personal email address, and I got flooded with a lot
Pin
of
it
emails.
on the
It's a good thing you didn't
comments.
give out my phone number. That would have been
Yeah.
Blackbird, the godfather of painting. So we are the Paint Life Mafia on Mafia. So maybe the godfather needs to be a Mafia member. So
Yeah. So how much are for your shirts? So we sell our shirts and a lot of different painting products on store.theidahopainter.com. So
there's
anyways,
varying prices. We have closeout shirts that are $11, and then we got the most expensive shirt is like $16.50, and they're high-end next level shirts. So
okay.
Yeah.
I just put it on there though.
Frank Gutierrez says we rule. Thank you very much, Frank.
Thank you for being with us. Everybody
right.
take care and stay safe.
So you get everything
Healthy.
figured out so we can get going?
Sure.
Sure. Do you have any classes on lacquer and cabinets? I'd love to learn the lacquer. So we do we have Paint Life Academy classes that we teach right here in our Paint Life Academy, but unfortunately they've all been canceled because of the virus, and we don't know when.
And we're not doing lockers anymore because of safety.
Oh yeah, we teach water-based coatings. So the last academy we were using, last two, Renner 851, and the next academy will probably be CICs, water-based coating, or Renner. So we're big into water-based coatings because the dangers of lacquer explosion and because of the extreme odor that people are not liking. So anyways, when she waves, that means we gotta go.
Well, because we said like we're gonna go like 2 minutes ago, and then we just
right.
keep questions coming in.
She's the boss, so we gotta get going. Out.